Hey guys, Kevin here. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this video put out by Red Elephants where this college professor named Albert Ponce calls for revolution in America and tells the students that they should go out and break the laws in America and Europe because those laws were written by old white men and being civil is actually white supremacy. I'm not going to show you that same video. I'm going to show you other clips from that same lecture because that wasn't the worst of what he said, if you ask me. The lecture was part of this thing called the Social Justice Lecture Series. And I'm sure there's millions of these things that are being paid for by taxpayer dollars going on all over the United States. It just shows how far our universities have fallen, how subverted they are by leftist radicals. And it's just out of control. And you guys take a look at this.
So we begin with the fact that we exist in a white supremacist, patriarchal, heteronormative capitalist system. There is a hierarchical order of domination in society based on multiple identities that we all carry. Whether you are a woman, whether you are a person of color, whether you are lesbian, gay, transsexual, etc. Whether you are disabled, and right now you're feeling the brunt of that coming into this room, because this room was not made for those who are not able-bodied. That's power. That is the system. And subconsciously, we don't, or consciously, we might be aware of it, but how is this room restructured to enable those who do not have the physical capacity to enter into this privileged space and enact forms of dialogue while engaging in some of these big ideas?
So he starts off by talking about how society oppresses people because it breaks people down into social orders and groups. And it makes me wonder, if this guy gets his Marxist-Leninist revolution tomorrow, does he think that we humans, as social primates, are going to stop wanting to accumulate social capital and resources? Does he think that we're going to stop breaking people down into in-groups and out-groups? Because that's human nature. That's our animal instinct. Then he goes on to talk about how the room is oppressive. The very room he's in is oppressive because it doesn't accommodate for every single type of disability. You know, what does he want? Pulleys and levers and elevators in every single building? Look, later in this series, he talks about how, you know, there's no shame in living in teepees and people should embrace living in mud huts like their ancestors did. And it makes me realize, you know, I never saw one wheelchair ramp when I was down in Palenque visiting the Mayan ruins. So, you know, is he going to go bitch about that after his little Marxist revolution? It gets better.
So white supremacy, as we envision it, is a system. It is, as the Jamaican philosopher Charles Mills, it's the unnamed political system that has made the modern world system what it is today.
So it's the system that made the modern world what it is today. That's pretty amazing. Give me more of that, please. We have air conditioning, heating, a car in the driveway, Starbucks down the street. I've been to these Marxist countries. They are hell on earth. The modern world, America, the West, it's great. It's incredible. And these hypocritical professors know this. This guy would never go move to Cuba where he'd make $18 a day. He wouldn't last 5 minutes there. You know, here's the thing. Just once, I want to see these people put their money where their mouth is. This guy probably makes $150,000 a year. I want to see him give up that salary, go live on a commune, and go spread his propaganda over there.
So what can we do? What is to be done? Vote? Write your senator? Yeah, we should laugh a little louder, right? That doesn't work. They are part of the system. Your congressman? It's what the political theorist says we must do. The late Joel Olson, in doing work and theorizing and practicing abolition. What does abolition mean? Abolition means we must destroy it, not reform it. No voting is going to help. No writing your congressperson. We need to smash white supremacy at every institutional level in this country, beginning at the local space, at the state, at the federal system, and build something new. And that's frightening, because we don't know what is to come. There will be repression. Yes, that always happens. But those who are with...
So I skipped past the part that was in the Red Elephants video, And I want to show you guys what's at the end here. So he summarizes the whole thing by saying that the West is white supremacist and we need to destroy every institution of the West, starting at the most local level. And I can sort of agree with him there. We should destroy some of these local institutions, especially things like the universities. Because obviously our universities are no longer focused on education, but only indoctrination. That's why instead of putting money into the sciences and, lifting up engineering degrees and things like that, they're focusing all their attention on stupid social justice lectures that push blatant anti-white racism, blatant misandry, and it's just so ridiculous and out of control. And the fact is that this guy and people like him, these leftist professors, they're not going to be happy with just destroying the institutions because they have nothing to replace it with. And he says it there. He says that basically, there will be oppression after they get their way. And that's what always happens. That's why you end up with Pol Pot. That's why you end up with Chairman Mao. That's how you end up with Stalin and the killing fields in Cambodia. That's just what happens. They have no plan for after their revolution. And every time they fail, because they have no plan, they say, well, that wasn't real Marxism.
In fact, we'll have to, when we do abolish this white democracy, that it will have to be in conflict, that it would have to be something where we have to bear arms, where we'd have to go against and do what is illegal.
Well, what is illegal in the eyes of the state? Right? Because Max Weber, the sociologist, tells us the state has a monopoly on violence because the cops, they have a badge. They have the law on their side. They're enforcing it. As we had in Catalonia, where the police were beating back not only the people, but they're beating back firefighters and everybody who was trying to exercise their autonomy or their sovereignty. Because the state says it's okay, they will do it. Frantz Fanon, Puerto Rican revolutionary, who fought not only with the pen, but with a weapon on the side of the people he was sent in to marginalize, the Algerians, saw a necessity for violence, and it's one of the only ways to be free. Because if the master speaks that language of pure violence, what option do they leave us?
Well, guys, what else can I say? There's two white men who both benefit greatly from Western culture, who are talking to each other about how to take up arms and violently overthrow white men and Western culture. If that's not brainwashing, I don't know what is. And if you want to know where this comes from and what the agenda and motivations behind this kind of brainwashing is, you should read the book Culture of Critique. There's been a lot of controversy about it lately, so I went and read it again, and it makes everything so clear. This book was written a while ago, but it outlines this cultural Marxist rise and the agendas behind it so brilliantly. And, you should read it.